Hello, I'm Susan Woods, your self appointed Black Lives Matter investigator. Thank you so much for your time. I have a question for you. Do Black Lives matter to Black people? Once again, do Black Lives matter to Black people? I asked this question, and I've been asking this question for years. The reason is I really don't know the answer. Now, that may sound odd to you, but I really don't know because of the different ways we demonstrate our anger or hurt or dismay depending upon who actually kills a Black person. For example, if a Black man kills a Black man, there is no outrage. No one protests for the murdered victim. No one marches with Black Lives Matter signs up. No one wears a t-shirt with Black Lives Matter on his behalf. No one demands justice on his behalf unless it's his immediate family, and sometimes they don't. On the other hand, if a white police officer kills a Black man, the reaction is totally different. We have protests, we have marches, we have demands for justice, we have people walking with Black Lives Matter signs, we have people wearing Black Lives Matter t-shirts. We have a lot of reaction, a lot of anger, a lot of disappointment. The two scenarios are different, and I don't understand why. Because a Black man is killed in both scenarios. So to me, the reactions should be the same. Now, I had this conversation with a very good friend of mine, a Black man, and I asked him the same question. And he responded by saying, Susan, we don't pay white police officers to kill us. We pay them to protect and serve. Don't you understand that they are abusing their power when they just kill us, kill Black men because they can? That's why we're angry. I get that. That makes me angry too. It makes me real angry. More than that, I'm afraid. I have a Black brother, Black father, Black nephews, Black cousins, Black uncles. I worry about them. I tell my nephews all the time, be careful. If you're pulled over by a police officer, just do what they say. Don't try to fight it. We would rather you come home alive than to get a phone call from someone saying that you're dead. So I get it. I'm angry about that abuse of power as well. I'm also angry about the qualified immunity that police officers have, which essentially says you can do whatever you want. We're going to protect you. Until recently, you didn't hear of police officers being convicted of killing Black men. But now you are hearing it a little bit more. So I get my friend's point. And if you want to dig a little bit deeper, I understand the rage. Of course I do. I'm Black. I'm a Black woman. I was born Black. I'm living Black. And I'm going to die Black. This skin is not going to come off. The skin color is not going to change. So I have to live in a world where a lot of people hate me because I'm Black. I understand that rage. When you go back historically, it's not a good feeling to know that white people still suppress Black people Let's just be honest. We know it exists. That's not a good feeling. I am a descendant of people who didn't jump off the ship rather than come into this new unknown world. I'm a descendant of people who were enslaved. I am a descendant of people who were betrayed with Reconstruction. I am a descendant of people who lived through Jim Crow. I am a descendant of people who experienced terrible racism. My parents picked cotton. They were required to pick 100 pounds of cotton every day for $2. So, of course, I'm enraged. Of course, I'm angry. When you think about the history, I myself have experienced racism. So, I get my friend's point about how we are upset about white police officers killing black men when we know they wouldn't have killed a white man under the same circumstances. I get that. I do. I really do. But on the other hand, I asked my friend, I said, well, okay, I understand your point, but what about black on black crime? What do you have to say about that? And he said, once again, it's the white people's fault because they have placed us in a position where we can't move up, we can't be successful, we live in poverty, and people who live in poverty fight for the scraps. And I was like, um, can't go with you on that one. I can't go with you on that one. So are you saying, I asked him, I said, are you saying that because people are poor, they kill each other? Because they are poor? And he said, essentially, yes, because we don't have the resources, we don't have the means to get jobs, we don't have transportation, no one will hire us. So you end up living in a ghetto with people who are like you, and you just kill each other trying to get the scraps. So I said, okay. And I thought about my own life. Let me tell you a short story, then I'm going to come back to my point here. Several years ago, I went to a family reunion on my maternal side of the family. And the person who was in charge of the family reunion had t-shirts made. And the t-shirts had a house on the t-shirts. So when I got my t-shirt, I was like, what in the world? So I asked my mom, I said, Mom, whose house is this? Why would they put this on the t-shirt? And she looked at me like, what are you talking about? I said, whose house is this? Why is this house on this t-shirt for our family reunion? And she said, have you lost your mind? What is wrong with you? I said, Mom, what? She said, that is the house we lived in. She said, you lived in that house. Are you crazy? And I was like, what? You see, growing up, I only felt love. My parents, myself, we lived with my maternal grandparents and an uncle and a cousin. But I never felt poor. I never felt poor. There was so much love and warmth in that raggedy house. I never felt poor. I never felt downtrodden. My parents went to work every day. My grandmother stayed with me, kept me during the day. My uncle went to work. My cousin went to work. My grandfather went. Everything was fine. We were poor because they made very little money. But we loved each other. What is my point? My father didn't go kill people because he was poor. My cousin didn't go kill people. My grandfather didn't kill people. My uncle didn't kill people. We helped each other in that little community. So my friend's notion or suggestion that black people kill each other because they're poor, I just don't buy it because I've lived that life. So I told him that. I just don't get what you're saying. I just can't agree with that. Black on black crime is rampant. Every single day, I see on the news black on black crime. A black man killed another black man, or a black teenager killed another black teenager. And nowadays, recently, you have to drive by shootings. I live near Charlotte, North Carolina. And you hear about drive-by shootings all the time, shooting in people's homes, black people shooting in black people's homes, killing children. But there are no protests, no riots, no demands for justice. Police officers are begging people, please come forward. If you have any tips on who could have done this, a 9-year-old little girl was killed trying to run back in the house. Her little cousin was shot. A little 7-year-old black boy was killed riding in the car with his mom and little baby sister. Someone drove up and killed him rather. And no one would come forward. Even the parents are not protesting in the streets. Family members are not protesting in the streets. No one is walking around with Black Lives Matter t-shirts on and posters. The only thing you hear is rest in peace. That's bad. Let's do a GoFundMe account for the funeral services. So to me, it seems like we black people place more value on the lives of people who are killed by white police officers than we place on the lives of people who are killed by black people. And that's a deep concept to consider. Why is someone's life more valuable if it's taken by a white police officer than if it's taken by a fellow black person? That's what I would like to know. That's the question I would like answered. But when you raise that question, or when I raise that question, all hell breaks loose. It's like, here she goes again. What does that have to do with anything, Susan? Why you keep bringing that stuff up? You always bringing stuff up like that. You lose credibility when you say stuff like that. Whose credibility? My credibility is not contingent upon you liking what I say. I don't need your credibility to feel worth. Okay? I want to know if Black lives matter to black people. That's what I want to know. And if so, why aren't we protesting? Why aren't we walking through the neighborhood of murder suspects? You know who they are. Look around you. Look at major cities. Look at Chicago. Look at Baltimore. Look at Philadelphia. Look at the black on black crime, and nobody is saying anything about it, not even the politicians. Where is Ben Crump? Have you ever seen Ben Crump hold a press conference for black on black crime? Have you ever seen him stand up with a parent or parents of a black child that's been murdered by another black child? Show me the video. Show me the evidence of seeing Ben Crump holding a press conference when a black boy or a black man kills another black boy or another black man. I want to see that. He only shows up when a white cop kills a black man or a black boy. He only shows up when a white man kills a black boy or a black man. Why, y'all? Why? Explain the difference in the reaction. Please help me understand that. I don't get it. We should be even more upset when black people kill black people. We should value our lives more, if for no other reason than to honor the people who gave their lives for us to have the little bit of freedoms we do. Why do we react differently? Help me understand that. Because I think it's silly to expect other people to value our lives when we don't value our lives. I think it's silly to expect our lives to matter to other people when they don't matter to us. I believe that's part of the reason why people don't take us seriously. You can't demand respect from others when you don't respect yourself. Do Black Lives Matter to Black people? Please help me with that question. Thank you and have a great day.